Hi everyone, I'm Erin.
And I'm Rashelle.
We'd like to talk to you a little bit today about the concept of being a professional interpreter and presenting yourself as such. So to start out a little bit, we want to frame this, and Rachelle's going to share with us a little bit of context and a story as to why this topic came present of mind for us.
Right. So the other day, I, as a healthcare consumer, was at my provider, and I saw an interpreter walk in. I could tell that there was patients that may need an interpreter. And so the interpreter walked in and introduced themselves, but before I noticed that they were in street clothes. And so it was just kind of jeans, super casual. I'm wearing jeans now, but I'm not interpreting. But they looked just like anybody else in the waiting room. And so it caught my eye because as an interpreter, we are trying to be seen as professionals. And when that interpreter walked in, being in street clothes, it would have been hard for anybody to distinguish them from anybody else in the waiting room.
And admittedly, we're kind of hypersensitive to how interpreters are presenting themselves, but there are subtleties in the way that we are visibly presenting ourselves to others. And so it is important how we're dressed, that we are, we don't have to be in a tuxedo and a ball gown. That would be a little bit over the top, to be sure. But we also want to remember that how we are physically presenting ourselves is not so much a reflection of our style or our desires or what our flair happens to be. It's a reflection of the profession and how we are respecting those around us. So just thinking about what your physical dress code happens to be is a really easy and fast way to make the right impression and set the expectation that this is a professional that I'm interacting with. Especially when it comes to the PSRs and the providers, and of course the patients and families as well.
Right. It builds a level of trust. Mm-hmm. I remember we were at a conference many, many moons ago, and there was a conversation about this very topic. It was in Iowa. And they were talking about interpreter dress, and some had, very business formal where you had to wear suits and that kind of thing. And so dress and style, there's a gamut of things. But what's really important is when you're an interpreter, take pride in that. It's not an easy job. It's not something that any person who's bilingual can do. And so you need to be proud of the work that you do. You need to take pride in who you are and who you've become and the skills that you've gained. And in doing so, going into your work environment, represent that pride. Be recognizable. Dress up a little bit. Have that, business casual going on. You want to be noted as a professional, and you are. So make sure that you take pride in your presentation and set yourself apart from everybody else in the waiting room, and make sure that you're recognizable.
Mm-hmm. So just something fast and easy to do. Take a look at your wardrobe and see how it's representing yourself as a professional well, and setting the bar then for other professionals as well coming into the healthcare encounters. So just a quick little nugget and things to share. By all means, do comment.
Yes.
What are some of the things that you've seen out there that have been like, wow, that's really inspiring? Or also, geez, that kind of didn't really set the standard of expectation
right.
for how I observe those other interpreters, so that we can not necessarily call anybody out. Certainly want to avoid the concept of shaming people, but again, raising the bar and how we can learn from each other, because sometimes we don't even realize
right.
how we're perceived by others around us.
Right.
So share your comments. Love to hear what your experiences have been.
Great. Have a great day.
Take
Bye,
care.
everybody.